What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Life at the Hamids. Thank you for joining me on another episode. I'm so excited to show you the progress since the last video where I did the big plant out. If you have not watched that, please have a look at the link here, and you can have a look at everything I planted and how it went. In terms of the garden, the allotment, there's not been much progress. Well, I'm not too sure now. Some things have grown, some things haven't. Last time I showed you that the beans weren't doing so well. So I've got some contingency plans in place. I've brought some along so I can replace them. And in this episode, basically, I'll be showing you that. But first of all, let's take a tour and let me show you what's going on, and then we can deal with the rest in a bit. But make sure you stay to the end. If you haven't already done so, please take this moment out to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of this content or any future episodes, and you can follow the journey along. All right, without any further ado, let's get on with it. All right, everybody. So, as you can see here, the allotment is not doing too bad at all. So, let's start with this end anyway. In terms of this bed, this is a brassica bed, and I planted K-lets here. So as you can see, they're starting to establish now, and they're not doing too bad. At some point, they will grow taller and taller. And what I'll do is I'll basically collect the leaves at the bottom and probably feed my pigeons. You can eat them as well, but I usually just, not pigeons. What am I talking about, pigeons? This is how you know I'm losing my mind. My chickens. But as you can see, there's little bits of bits here that are coming through the cardboard. So what I do is I come in and I pinch it out, and I try to take as much of the root as possible, and I just take it out and I get rid of it again. But this netting is keeping the pigeons off. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If I remember, are Brussels sprouts, and then I've got purple sprouting broccoli. Now, what I will do is, with the remaining bed, I'm probably going to plant some cauliflowers and some broccoli as well. In between these, I'm going to put some, what's it called? Beetroot. But so far, so good. Everything's looking healthy here. And if you remember the last video, they were very, very tiny transplants. And let's go on to the next bed. In terms of the paths, he's done a lot better with the cardboard on the paths. However, you still get bits coming through every so often. So if you go here, you'll get this. And what I'll do is I'll just grab the hole and I'll just go underneath it and I'll get rid of it. You still need to maintain it. I possibly could do with a thicker mulch of wood chip, but I ran out. So the tomatoes, they're not doing bad at all. They're starting to actually settle in. I didn't water them for the first few days when they came. But here's my money makers. And then I've got my San Marzano. I've got something in between. But in between also, companion planting, I'm planting marigolds. And I've got some calendula. Now, they usually help. But if you look here, I'm starting to get some tomatoes. These are the honeycomb variety. So from Hugh Rich's channel, if I remember, these were the really sweet ones. So let's see how they go. But I'm getting flowers on these ones. They were the ones that actually didn't die off. These sakuras, I'm getting flowers. So they're not doing bad at all in terms of that. And what I have done is I've taken off some of the suckers in between these and I've just chucked them in the ground to see if they survive. And if they do, I'll take them and I'll transplant them afterwards and go from there. As you can see here, again, that was another little one that I chucked off. And I'm just taking the suckers off. As you can see, let's find one here. So with this one in between the main stem and the leaf, I just take this out. These are ones that I'm going to grow up. I still haven't actually, and then you just take it out like that. With that, you can stick in the ground. So what I might do is just like that. I'm gonna stick my finger in there, shove that in there, and then basically let that grow. I'll take that out later. You can see, relatively weed free. I don't see any weeds in this bed. You see something here like that, you just pull it out and make sure you get the root. But yeah, so that's the tomato bed. Still time to grow, and I still got to make the trellis. I'm not really happy with my peas. As we already saw in the previous video, that these were overgrown, and they got split up, and they went through a lot when I transplanted them. So a lot of these have died off. The new ones you can see are quite doing very good. So it could be a problem with me actually just transplanting them. I've got a few, can you see? A few peas, not so healthy at all. And the thing is, the ground's moist, but yeah, just generally not the best crop. And the butternut squash that I put on is not doing as good as well. But let's see. If in any case, I could do something else with this. If this doesn't work out, maybe I'll put my brassicas in here in terms of the cauliflower, some pak choy, whatnot. There's always something I can do. So over here, let's go on. Oh, before I go back, look, things like this pop up through the cardboard. And if you see, I can give you an example of cardboarded area with mulch on top, the mushroom compost. And remember in the beginning, I planted these before I got the mushroom compost. So there was no cardboard in the middle. Well, this is where I'm getting most of the weeds. Can you see coming up? But the good thing is, so you know the soil is good. I've got a worm going through. I just weed in between here. It's not so hard. And I just leave them there to die off. Alright, so let's move on to where the sweet corn is. Now look, some of them are done well and some of them haven't. So I've had problems with, you can see the cardboard coming up in the corner, but that's not the biggest problem. It's something coming here at night time and then basically digging up bits. Can you see? Something's dug up something over there, either a fox, a rat, I don't know what it is, but something's dug up things. But some of these look good and then others don't. So what I'm going to do is today I'm going to transplant these. These are my baby corn, so I'm going to see how they go. But yeah, that could be doing better. I'm not so happy about that one. All right, so the chilies, again, we're starting to get flowers on some of them. I'm not sure whether I should remove the first flowers and let them grow. I've got one, so these are ones that I always put outside. At some stage in a later year, not this year, I'm going to try to build a frame, so it's like a mini greenhouse. Unless I can get a second half plot or something and have a polytunnel. But they don't do the best. They need to be undercover in a greenhouse or polytunnel to do really well. But you can see, those are my peppers at the back. And you've got my chilies and then my nagas. But I'm not really happy. You've got some flowers here. But let's see. Time will tell. We've still got season. Here are the tomatoes. Tomatoes, see, again, seem to be doing well in this area. This is the marmand. Marmand? Yeah, the marmand. The Bulgarians are over there. So these are the marmands. But I think that is a flower head getting ready. So these are determinate. They won't grow super tall. However, they will just branch out. So these ones, I'm not going to take the suckers out. I'm going to let them grow out. I should actually put those supports on that I had. Let's move on. I've got a couple of flowers here. I bought some more calendula to put in between. So again, the beans now. This is the bean support that I made that worked last year. However, if you can see over here, I've only got 1, 2, that have popped up. These were the French climbing beans that I planted here, and then the Bangladeshi uri, the hyacinth beans, if I said it right, going there. And those were affected by the weather, as were these. Now, in terms of this, something, whether it's a slug or whatever, just got to them. So they didn't. This is the problem with the allotment. They don't get to mature up. And then look here, I've got another piece and I just get it out like that. That's just a weed. But yeah, so these two managed to survive and they're doing okay. The good thing is I have got some transplants at home, just waiting them to get this strong. When they're about this strong, they don't have a problem. So I'm just waiting. They're not too long. And sorry, just get this weed out. There you go, look. This is the good thing about the cardboard method. It has to really, really travel to find a way out. And then I just take it out. All right, so the Bangladeshi uri beans, can you see? They're really struggling, really struggling. So let's see how that goes. I'm still going to leave them and have hope. I've got a few more with me today. Whatever I've got with me is what's actually left. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to put some more beans there and just keep it with the French climbing beans. Okay, let's move on to the wigwam. So you can see the difference. So here, in between all of these, I planted another uri bean. And as you can see, the only one that's actually come up, and they're not looking good at all. Look at that. I'm just hoping. You see that new growth there? It's going to flourish. So let's see. I've still got hope. This is what it should look like. So that's what it looks like, and that's what it should be like. I've got another one over here. But again, it's not looking the best, is it? Let's see how it goes. I've got one cosmos, dwarf cosmos there. Look at these. So out of all the beds, it's not that bad. Here again, something dug up. But this is the most I get in terms of weeding. I'm just coming across and I grab everything. I try to pull it up as much as I can. I try to get a little bit underneath and just dig it up. Then I just leave it there to dry up. And that's been how I'm doing it. So if I keep on top of it, it's not going to be bad. Okay, what's this? This is the courgette, the gold rush courgette. Seems to be doing all right. Could do better. Let's see. It's moist underneath, but it's flowering. Should be okay. Let's see how it goes in terms of that. But the green courgette is not doing bad at all, if you have a look at it. But let's see. The slugs haven't got to them, and that was the main thing. And moving on. These are the aubergines. Again, they could be doing better. I did plant them late. And see, this is the problem, is when they get root bound and you leave them for too long, they just struggle to catch up. The weather's not been great. Timing, all of it. So I'm really, really... Well, you know, we accept what it is. But I'm a bit worried about them. They haven't moved much in terms of growth since I put them in. All right, so where should we go next? Let's go to the squash bed. So here. So these were really small and they're starting to grow a bit more. I think they could have grown more by now, but they're starting. I think they've just found their way. So they've just rooted and kind of they're getting on their way. So let's see how they go. Like you can see, this one's starting to trail, this one's starting to trail, they're starting to set flowers. So not long, hopefully. These are chikikuri were actually quite small when I put them in. That one's doing better than the other one. However, I'm happy. And the banana squash here, these three over here are doing way better than the other ones. Have a look there. So I'm really happy with that. But not too bad. Now this is the nasty section that I don't like, that I'm going to deal with next not next year actually, this year, October. Just waiting. I'm going to get rid of this, that's the next bit, and this is going to be kind of the compost area. These are going to maybe stay there, but I'm going to build a composting area over here. And then I want some flowering section. Here's my not asparagus, my, what's it called? Artichoke. So that I transplanted and it's doing quite well. I've got, what's this? Let's rip that off. I don't want that growing anyway. And here was the area where I just put some flowers. I needed some more flowers, and it's kind of like an emergency planting of flowers. So I've got nasturtiums. I've got, there should be some red poppy there, the Californian poppy, but they've not flowered yet. And I've got my Cosmos Fizzy Purple there, along with some sunflowers. And then these, the nasturtiums are trailing. Have a look at this. Look at that. Sorry. Looking beautiful already, as it is. But there. I don't want the other nasturtiums. I like these ones. So let's see how this goes anyway. But they're not doing too bad. If this trails up, at least you can hide all of this nastiness, which I'm not liking. All right, where should we move to next? The fig tree is actually not looking that bad. Let me just move out a bit. Actually seems to be doing all right. But let's see. The green is not what I'm more concerned about. I want lots of figs this year. All right. But look, it looks okay. It could be better. See, that should have been full of, what's it called? Greenery right now. Could have been so much better. All right, remember that bed that I made? Look at it. This is full of green. Now, they were very small when I did it, the nasturtiums. The nasturtiums are growing lovely here. And I'm letting them trail down. I'll just let them trail down over here into this mess. And the rhubarb's doing not bad at all. Look at that. So the rhubarb, I'm going to let grow and establish. I might take one or two, but I really want it to establish here. I think this is going to be my rhubarb section. But not doing bad at all. Look at that. And they just come out. I've got sunflowers at the back. I've forgotten what I planted here. I'm going to let it grow, see what happens. Look, you've got sunflowers at the back. And then you've got more nasturtiums here. And underneath, I grew something as well. This is not doing bad. Last time I looked at this one was very small. So that seems to have actually established. It was this small. There we go. So it's established itself. But yeah, I'll let this trail down. I've got the raspberry bush that I need to transplant, but I've left it here. I think this is wild basil. Anyway, let's move on. So, let me quickly show you the potatoes. Now, when we went and did the potatoes, remember I did a test of fertilized and non-fertilized. So look at that. Now you tell me what you think was the difference, right? Now, as you know, or should know, or if you remember from the video, these ones were all the ones that I put fertilizer on, and these ones were non-fertilized. So in terms of actual green foliage, look at it. You can see there's a dramatic difference. Look at that. And I'm pretty sure when I fell into it, I was touching soil. I could feel a potato. You can feel potatoes. I'm not going to play around with it too much, but that's awesome. I didn't realize that potato fertilizer will make that much of a difference. Look at these. They don't look as well. However, I'm tempted to go and put some fertilizer on top. Now, leave a comment whether you'd like me to actually leave it as it is and see the yield. Because the other question lies is, although there's more green here, what is the yield going to be like? I'm very tempted to put some fertilizer on this now at this stage, or shall we see it through? You let me know in the comments. And if you want me to see it through, then what I'll do is I will do that for you and we'll see it through. I can take a hit. It doesn't matter. There's only one way to find out. We need to test things. The other question was on these bags is, do they dry out? Will they dry out quite often? And yes, they do. I have to water these a lot more often. So when you put them in the ground, usually when I had them here, I hardly watered them. However, these I have to water every 2 days. Sometimes I'm not touching any of these beds. I've come and I've not touched any of the beds. I put my finger in there and you can see about an inch in, it's still moist. So I've left it alone. However, these I have to water all the time. So there's cons to that. But the pro is they force me to come here, water them in between I'm weeding and keeping on top of things. Moving on to the carrots. As you can see here, oh yeah, this is something I actually picked up the other day and forgot to take home. So I was thinning out these. This bed I have, this, what's it called? This bag, I have no idea why it's not flourishing as much as this. But look, this one's doing amazing. Now, in between, if you can see, if there's one that's too close to each other like there, I can thin out in between so they can grow. And I'll just basically, try to get a good angle. Yeah, I'll just pop it out like this, giving the other one space to grow. And I'll take this home like a baby carrot and I'll just chuck it in something. You can still eat those. And you've got space. But yeah, they're not doing too bad. And what I'll do is I'll just look in and see if anything is too close to another. So you can see, let's see, let it focus. You can see, let's see, those two right there, too close to each other. So I'll let them grow a bit longer and then I'll pull it out and thin down. But what I'm doing is I'm looking for things that are roughly like this size so I can just take them out and pull them out. Let's see, is there anything here to do? No. But yeah, the carrots are not doing too bad and they're growing in there. I'm probably going to do another set to make it last. All right, I need your help, viewers. I have no idea whether this apple tree has got a disease or what's wrong with it. Have a look at this. The leaves. And put that down. What's going on? Look, if I water it, it's moist. It's not too moist. It doesn't feel soggy. I've kept a ring around it to keep anything away. However, it just doesn't look healthy. Does not look healthy at all. Some of the leaves are like this. I thought maybe it's drying out. Where is it? There you go. But they have this kind of staining on them. So, if anyone does know what's wrong with them, please leave a comment. This one I really need help in. And is there anything I can do to save it? Am I doing something wrong? My cherry tree at home is doing lovely. But I really need your advice on this one. So please leave a comment. All right. But all in all, oh, how can I forget? It's not growing yet, but it's growing. See this part. Can you see the difference in the weeds? So I need to come along here and I need to trim this all up. I've been a bit lazy on this path, but I will come and do it this week. So I put 3 cucumber plants in, and it seems like that one got taken by something. That one got eaten up, but it seems to be surviving. And this one, I think, has just started to kind of set its roots and find its way. So within the next few days, this should be looking to spread itself out and go from there to, look at that. This cardboard method is really good in keeping everything at bay. But yeah, you can see they're getting there slowly. But I don't know. Right now, I think it's too premature to say that it's not going well. I think it's best not to complain. At least I've got an allotment and at least got something. This year, there's been a lot going on and I've been, busy with things and whatnot. And I've had the baby. So still, There's always something. But here, let me just show you. So the sweet corn that I did at home, I'm going to put those in. You can see this. This is the thing. When I do things at home or I plant them, some of those were direct sown. They just do better. So these ones are going to go in there. These beans, look at these. I sowed these at home. They're lovely. They're ready to go in. So I'm going to replace some of those. These are purple beans. I'm going to mix it up. Here's the uri. It's a half-half kind of thing, but I've got a couple. What were these? These were the French beans, but they were black. Then I've got some pak choy here. Red pak choy, yellow pak choy. Not yellow pak choy, red pak choy, green pak choy. And I've got some calendula. I think this calendula. Yep, calendula. But yeah, so these are the things I'm going to plant in. All right, everybody. So there you have it. I've planted out some of the extra beans. I put out the uri beans, and I've put a line of runner beans, the purple ones. Now I've got the actual climbing French beans. Blue Lake, if I remember, is the variety. I've got 2 of those rows here that I want to plant them in. So I'm going to hold back because they're at home, and I'm going to do those. So just in case you're wondering why I haven't done anything there, even though I've got seedlings, I'm going to do another wig while I'm at home as well. So you don't get to see much of my garden at home because it's a mess and I use it as storage and everything, but I will be cleaning that up and getting it ready so I can showcase it, because I do a lot at home and I only show you bits and bobs. So I will be showing that. But I'm pretty happy. I put the calendula in. I put the sweet corn in. So hopefully nothing comes and nibbles on it at night. But yeah, I've got plenty of the beans now, so I'm very happy. The uri, as long as nothing takes it overnight, pigeons or whatever it is, they should be all right. The healthy ones are in there. I think I've got enough to get a good crop this year and save seed. But anyway, please let me know how you are doing in your garden or your allotment, how you think this journey is going and how you think everything is going. Please leave a comment. I love to engage with my viewers and build a community. It's always lovely just to hear from everyone. If you've gained anything from this video, if you've just enjoyed it or just to support me, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm so close to 1,000 subscribers and it really helps. YouTube seems to have stopped sharing my videos. I don't know whether the algorithm plays around, but towards the end, I think when you get close to getting 1,000 subscribers, it just stops. So Big call out for everyone, please. But at the same time, I'm never going to stop. I'm always going to be doing this. But it does help me. So please remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share the videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.